Hey friends, it is Sunday and I'm going to be making some yogurt today. I usually will make it on Saturday or Sunday. And so many of you were interested in how I made yogurt that I thought I'd do a little video on it. It's so easy to do and so much better for you than what you could buy at the store with all those added ingredients. But you do need a few things to make the yogurt. You need a good quality milk. I like organic grass-fed when I can get it, or organic, or I've made it with just regular old milk, whole milk. You'll need a yogurt starter, which this is from what I made last week. And then you need a quart size container and a thermometer. So I wanted to talk to you about the kind of milk I use. I do use the grass-fed organic milk, but it is ultra pasteurized. When you have your instructions, it usually says to use pasteurized milk, which I have not been able to find where I live. I would love to find a raw milk supplier. That would be amazing. But I've not been able to do that yet. And then you will need a yogurt starter. Now, this is from the yogurt that I made last week, and I just make sure I have about half of a jar to make yogurt for the next week. But to start this yogurt, I ordered a culture from Cultures for Health, and it's just a yogurt starter culture. You get 2 to a package, and they come like this. You keep them in your refrigerator. I think it's like right at $15 for 2 of them. But the cool thing is that once you've started, I've already used one of these packets, then you can just, as long as you save at least 2 tablespoons from your previous batch, you don't need another starter. This becomes your starter. And so, realistically, you could use this forever if you made yogurt every week, as long as you have a starter, a culture, to make the next batch, you're good. Now, I like that there are 2 to a package here because, if I'm gone on vacation or whatever the case may be, I have an extra starter culture and I keep it in the fridge so I can use it, if I run out of my actual yogurt that I use as a starter. You do not have to buy a yogurt starter online. You can actually just go to your grocery store, pick up some yogurt, preferably organic, like plain, not a flavored yogurt. And you can use that to start your yogurt. It's full of healthy gut bacteria, and it's so good for you. And so I try to keep this from Cultures of Health on hand just in case something happens. But you do not have to buy that online. If you don't want to, you can just use regular yogurt. So when you buy from Cultures for Health, they give you this little instruction guide. It tells you how to activate your starter, which is the little pouch. And then it will show you, sorry, I'm kind of shaky. On the other side, it just tells you how to make your yogurt. And it tells you right there, stir in 2 tablespoons of yogurt that you've previously made. And it's really pretty straightforward and extremely easy. So the next thing we'll do is measure out a quart of milk and get it on the stove heating up. Okay, I went ahead and put my pot on the stove and turned my burner on to about medium low. And then you just take your milk and you pour in 1 quart of milk. and then you're gonna heat it to 160 degrees. Now, I have read recipes before where they've heated it to 180. This works for me, 160. It's what the directions say to do. So that's kind of what I do. And yes, I made granola today too. I usually make that once a week as well. So we'll just let our milk heat up to 160 degrees, and then we will go on to our next step. I also wanted to let you know that I will come through and stir it occasionally. Just, I don't know, to keep it from sticking to the bottom. You know how milk can kind of scald or whatever. So yeah, just, you know, ever so often, come and give it a little stir. Okay, my milk has heated up to 160 degrees, and towards the end, I usually stir it the whole time. And then all you're gonna do is pull it off the stove. Hopefully it's not too hot. And then you're just gonna let it cool to 110 degrees. And it takes it a while to get up to 160 degrees, and it takes it a while to cool down to 110. Just check it ever so often. And if you're a few degrees off, it is not gonna ruin your yogurt. So anyway, we'll just wait for it to cool now. Okay, my milk has cooled down to 110 degrees. I have put my little jar of yogurt starter in a glass measuring cup, and I've kind of stirred it around a little bit. And then I'm going to add, I like to kind of almost like temper it. So I'll add a little milk, yogurt, and dissolve it. And then I'll do a little bit more. And then I will come back and pour this in the milk. Get all that goodness. Yep. Well, there's a little bit stuck in there, but that's fine. Then I just will kind of mix that, and then I will put it in my jars. And I actually have a yogurt maker. I will show that to you real quick. This is the yogurt maker I got off of Amazon. And if you have an Instant Pot that has a yogurt setting, you can use that to make your yogurt. I have an Instant Pot, but I've had it for so long and it does not have a yogurt maker on it. So I just ordered this one off Amazon, and I'll try to see if I can link it. You know, I'm all new to all of this, but anyway, so it holds 7 jars, and usually with a quart of milk, I can get 6.5 jars. And so I have my little, this is a little tiny canning funnel. I use canning funnels so much of the time. They're really handy to have around. Let me get my ladle, and we'll start ladling it into the jars. Okay, I'm going to try to do this without making a mess. If I continue to do videos, I'm gonna have to have like a tripod thingy or something like that. But, you know, you just do with what you have. And so I'm just going to ladle out the milk and yogurt. Actually, it's yogurt, it's just not fermented yet. And so I just keep ladling into my jar till it gets, you know, about like that, maybe 2 ladles full. So I'm gonna ladle the rest of my jars, and then we'll come back. Okay, so this time I actually had enough milk to fill 6 jars. It kind of depends on how full you make them. So I'm just going to take this little jar out, and then I'm going to get the cover to my yogurt maker. Sorry about that. Like I said, this is all new to me. I just like to share. So then you're just going to turn your yogurt maker on, and that's it. That's all you do to make yogurt. And then you're gonna check it after about 5 hours to see if it's kind of firmed up some, or if it kind of moves away from the side of the jar. And if it's still pretty liquidy, it can go for up to 12 hours. So after 5 hours, I would just check it every couple hours and just see. I have actually forgotten about it and let it go for like 18 hours. And it was a little more tart than usual, but I like tart, so that was fine with me. But yeah, so whenever I check it, I'll bring you back and kind of show you what it looks like. So it's kind of like I set it and forget it. Okay, we'll wait to see how it looks after a little bit. Okay, it's been 5 hours, so I am going to check the yogurt, kind of see how it looks. Oh, sorry. And it's, I don't know if you can tell, but it's still pretty runny. I've never had mine actually be ready in 5 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit all night. And then I will check it first thing in the morning. We'll see you then. Okay, it's the next morning, and I'm gonna check on my yogurt. Let's take a peek at it. And if we go in here, yeah, it's firmed up now, and it is looking really good. So I will let it sit for about 10 minutes, just like this, and then I will put the little jars that come with the yogurt maker, I will put their lids on it and put it in the fridge. And then later today, because I usually eat a yogurt bowl for lunch. I don't eat much breakfast, but I like to get all those really good probiotics in every day. So I'll bring you back later and show you how I make my yummy yogurt bowl. And you can make this flavored, you can add sweetener. I just prefer not to do that. You could add a splash of vanilla, I've done that before. So, okie dokie, yogurt is done.